Today we're going to be talking about some of the songs and some of the songwriters that have had the biggest impact on my life as a songwriter and a person. Hey, this is Tom Douglas. I've been songwriting probably literally all my life. As a songwriter, I've been fortunate enough to work with some amazingly talented people, from Pink to Sheryl Crow to Tim McGraw to Kenny Chesney to Lady A. I'm a kid in a candy store with all these talented people. I've been nominated for an Oscar and a Golden Globe, and our song, The House That Built Me, was voted Song of the Decade. I've been very blessed. What do you say we listen to some music? Wow, the masterful Hank Williams, from Whippoorwills to Bluebirds to Midnight Trains to I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. The senses that Hank Williams packs in all of his lyrics, it's just tragically heartbreaking, and that's what invites us in. We kind of apply our life onto that. Just, I'm so lonesome I could cry. Sonically, it's a very country sounding song. You know, he's telling a short story. He's really making a movie in, less than 3 minutes. I've written probably 3,000 songs, and truthfully, the most difficult thing is to be simple. It's so hard. We want to overcomplicate it, and he rarely did. All right, let's take a trip with Kris Kristofferson on this one. Me and Bobby McGee, Kris Kristofferson, truly one of my favorites. It's been covered a number of times. I guess the most famous outside of the Kristofferson version is the Janis Joplin version. It's two people, and they're running from something, they're running to something, and none of that really makes any sense, but all they really have is that they're together. And then, of course, the most famous lyric in the chorus, which is "Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose." The desperation of the singer and Bobby, and then you've got the truck driver that picks them up, and you've got all the senses are happening. You can hear the windshield wiper slapping time. They've got a harmonica and a dirty red bandana. I mean, it's just the whole thing. And then all of a sudden, what happens to Bobby McGee? I don't know. It's the mystery that they're together and then they're not, and all he's got is the memory of their time together. It's just, it's lonely and it's desperate and it's beautiful, and it's another great story. Let's take a trip down memory lane to yesterday with the Beatles. That's the first time I can really remember the clash of popular music and classical music. Just the convergence of an acoustic guitar and a string section. I hadn't heard that before, nor really had the world. I really think the world longs for something more organic, more tactile. Everything can start to feel like white noise, and then when you hear something just simple and foundational, like loneliness or regret, those are just human emotions that everybody can relate to. Let's delve into the rich tapestry of Carole King and You've Got a Friend. Wow, that's profound. It should be inspiring to listen to these songs. It's really not. It's really quite depressing, because I'm not sure what I've been doing for the past 30 years, but it's not that. I mean, I've been inspired by so many, women songwriters, and women write from a different perspective of men, obviously. There's a sensitivity to that song that, I just don't think a guy is going to be able to write. There's nothing macho about it. There's a play on Broadway called Beautiful, which is really the story and the songs of Carole King. You know, she was a hit songwriter at age 16 and then, you know, got married in high school and wrote all the songs with her husband, Jerry Goffin. And, you know, it's kind of a tumultuous life. And I think she was, you know, I just imagine that she was kind of leaving New York and where she grew up, and she's moving out to Los Angeles after the breakup of her marriage. And, you know, it's just those long distance relationships, you know, you just feel it. She's saying, basically she's just saying, you know, distance will not affect our relationship. You know, love's gonna keep us together no matter how far you are. Last song, but certainly not least, Ode to Billy Joe by Bobby Gentry. Wow. When Mama says at the dinner table, which I'm assuming is lunch in that day and age, they're chopping cotton. It's like nowhere in the middle of Mississippi, and they all come in for lunch, what they call dinner, and just kind of casually, Mama says, "Oh yeah, you know, I heard some bad news today that Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge." It's like, I mean, she says it so casually, and you know, because the story reveals itself and how the song plays out, that, you know, some form or fashion, this is the love of the life of, you know, of Bobby Gentry. You know, the kind of the insensitivity of the brothers, and the preacher comes by and the preacher's calling on them, and you've got all this nuance going on and all these different storylines, and yet the fact of the matter is this teenage girl has lost the love of her life. The narrative aspect of lyrics particularly, I think it adds a mystique and adds, you know, the listener they can project their own story on these stories. Now, I haven't done that, you know, exclusively, but that's primarily what I have done. And I just think you get so much more mileage out of a lyric if it's beautifully crafted, you know, with all this sense-bound writing, but also is a story so that the audience can find themselves in it. So to me, it's just, you get a real bang for the buck if it's great music and also a great story. I mean, that's always what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to write the perfect song that's the perfect music and the most engaging story possible. Thanks for watching. You can now stream my film Love, Tom, and check out the CMA YouTube channel for more content.